so hopefully he'll be joining us in just a moment. Just to let you know what we'll be doing today with him. So I've made him a little scatter feed, so there are bits of his food scattered around the enclosure, so we'll try and kind of follow him around and hopefully give us a good chance to look at him and see what he's up to. There are a few bits of enrichment as well, so you can see the red egg toy, and there's a cardboard box over there as well that has some cinnamon powder and some straw in it that he really likes, so hopefully he might come out and have a little rub around on that as well. So yeah, like I say, hopefully he'll be joining us in just a second. So just to give you a heads up, he is a carnivore, so he is going to be eating meat. Here he is, and he does have some chicks today, so he'll be eating little bits of those. So apologies if you're squeamish, but obviously we want to give these guys a nice natural diet as much as possible. And ocelots in the wild would eat small mammals, birds, reptiles, even things up to things like small monkeys and stuff like that as well. So we like to give him a varied diet. Billy can be very fussy as well when he wants to be, so we have to make sure that we mix it up for him just to make sure that he's happy, obviously, as well. So Billy is a bit of an old man, bless him, so he's actually 18 years old. He'll be 19 in June, and he's been living here at the park since he was 18 months old, so been with us a very, very long time. He's got us all trained very well, so we know exactly what he likes and doesn't like, and he's catered for like a king as well. So ocelots are nocturnal, so we're very lucky to be able to see him in the day like this. So he knows that obviously his food's just been popped in, so it's worth him getting out of bed for. So I'm just trying to see where we've gone. So yeah, they are generally nocturnal. So they use their sense of smell a lot, which is why a scatter feed like this is really, really good for them, because it means he has to use his nose, not just to find one item of food, but to find a few all dotted around the enclosure. They do also have excellent eyesight, whether it's day or night time, so they're very, very skilled hunters, and he has the feisty personality as well, even at his age. So yeah, I'm sure you'll all agree he is absolutely stunning. Even at his age, you can't really tell looking at him. People often mistake him for a baby leopard or something like that. But he is obviously fully grown. He weighs in about 10.5 to 11 kilos, depending on the time of year, which is kind of mid-range for an ocelot. So they can weigh anything from 9 to 14 kilos for some of the really big guys. And they'd be found throughout South and Central America. So they do have quite a wide distribution. And in some areas they're quite dense populations, in others they can be a little bit more kind of sparse and spread out a little bit more. So it's quite hard to get an accurate population, but they are currently listed as least concern by the IUCN, which is really, really good news. They were listed as vulnerable for a while, quite a few years back, because unfortunately they were hunted by their coat, for their coat, sorry. They are under threat from things like urbanisation and agriculture currently, which is a huge shame. Obviously people going into their habitats or cutting down the forests. They are very adaptable. So ocelots can live quite happily in types of forest or grasslands, things like that. So they adapt pretty well to any environment, but they do like it to be densely planted. So they like that bit of camouflage to help them hunt and to give them a bit of kind of cover as well when they are sleeping throughout the day, while there might be lots of predators around. So they obviously need somewhere they can hide away and have a nice rest as well. So they would usually be solitary in the wild. A male's territory may overlap with a few females who we would have mating rights with, but no, generally they are solitary animals. And Billy is quite happy. He did have a lady friend quite a few years ago, but they weren't too close, unfortunately. She didn't really like him very much, so she did move on a while ago, but he's quite happy having the whole place to himself and getting all of the attention from us as well. So he's just enjoying some of his snacks there. So the red meat he's got today is a little bit of horse meat, which is one of his favourite treats. So here he gets obviously chicks and meat like that, also rats, mice. One of his favourite treats is a pigeon. He really likes making, it really enjoys eating them as well. But if he's really being spoiled, then he also enjoys a tin of sardines. So they would eat fish in the wild. Ocelots are kind of good at everything. They're the ultimate hunter, so they're good at climbing. They are really excellent climbers when they want to be, but they do spend a lot of time on the ground as well. Good at swimming, so like I say, they will hunt and catch fish. And they can run pretty fast as well, considering their size. So yeah, like I say, good at pretty much everything, which is lovely. So we're just going to pop round into part of his enclosure, so we can get a bit of a better view of him now that he's kind of sat there. So sorry about that. Here he is. So yeah, like I say, they have a varied diet in the wild, good at everything, really good hunters, and they have to be as well. So in the wild, their competition for prey would be things like ocelots, sorry, not ocelots, would be things like jaguars and pumas and things as well. So they have to be able to kind of hold their own in quite a fierce area. So they definitely do that, and even at Billy's age we can still see that kind of strong personality in him. If he wants something, he'll get it. We do give him cardboard boxes fairly regularly because he enjoys kind of shredding them, using his lovely strong claws to get through them whenever he wants to get whatever's in it, and things like that as well. But we like to keep them obviously mentally stimulated, and like I say, he is nocturnal, so his kind of awake time is quite often when we're not here for the most part. So things like having these toys in here, like the rope ball and the egg ball over here, gives him something to do a bit later on when we're not here as well. So we obviously want to make sure that he's stimulated all the time. So he'll kind of roll around, or sometimes he carries them off into his bedroom and things like that. So yeah, we always want to make sure that they're busy and keeping him physically well as well, especially at his age. We don't want him to just kind of get lazy and be laying around. We want to make sure that he is keeping himself busy, keeping himself fit. So if you do try and visit, come and visit us hopefully, and try and see Billy, he is most active kind of late afternoon, so stick around towards the end of the day and that's when you'll see him. He is absolutely stunning in person, even more stunning than he is here. So yeah, he's worth waiting around for. We feed him in the afternoons, usually kind of between 3 and 4, and that's when he'll kind of be wandering around. And if it's a nice sunny day that you happen to visit us on, always look up high on the platforms. He enjoys a sunbathe wherever possible as well. But with that coat, he does camouflage very well, so sometimes it can be quite difficult to see him. But no, it's definitely worth keeping an eye out for and spending a bit of time seeing where he is. But if you can't see him at the time, he does also have an off-show bedroom, so you can get a little bit of privacy and a bit of rest. So yeah, he does have a little place to go and hide away to if he needs to. So he's nearly found absolutely everything. So like I say, he's using his nose an awful lot when he's doing this kind of thing, which is a really good natural behaviour for him. And like I say, keeps him busy. Here he comes. So he has pretty much finished everything, I think. He's just having a... Sorry about the mesh. There we go, so we were lucky enough to hear a little noise from Billy there. Not many people get to hear him outside of his keepers, but he can be a very chatty little man when he wants to be, and he'll soon tell us if we've given him the wrong food or something like that, or some enrichment that annoys him if he has to work too hard to get his food. He's more than happy to tell us that we've done something horrible to him. Oh, there we go, found a little bit more as well. So yeah, I think Billy's pretty much finishing up, so he's probably going to head back to bed shortly, ready for another nap after all of that work, walking around there and having a nice meal and showing off for you guys. But thank you very much for joining us today here at Paradise Wildlife Park. We are hoping to reopen on the 12th of April, government guidelines allowing, so please do come and visit us and visit Billy and all of our other lovely animals, and continue supporting the park. We really do appreciate all of the support that we've had throughout the last year, and even obviously going back further as well, so thank you so much for absolutely everything. But from myself and Billy, thank you very much, and we hope